You don't have to play R.E.P.O to have fun with it. That's why it's so great. That's the whole video. R.E.P.O is a game in which up to 6 people spelunk a building, grabbing anything of value to repossess in exchange for cash. It's basically a more complex Lethal Company. It's dominated the Steam charts for the past few months, and I can't seem to avoid it on social media. So, why? I recommend going into this game seeing as little of it as possible. I think that the core experience of playing R.E.P.O is something that can get spoiled by having knowledge of how enemies act or what items are in the game or whatever. And later sections of this video are absolutely going to spoil those, so go play it. This game is both incredibly simple and extremely complex. R.E.P.O has a low skill floor and a pretty linear early learning curve. It's a pretty easy game to pick up. The tutorial is a little bare bones, only takes about 5 minutes. It teaches you the movement, how to grab items, and how to use items which can be interacted with. That's it. It's pretty simple. Simple, however, doesn't mean that the gameplay is bad. It's actually quite good. The low skill floor makes it easy for new players to have fun, and as runs get longer, the game will get more complex, which makes it crazier. But it's a session game. When the session is done, everyone restarts from the beginning. Nothing carries over except your experience. This means anyone can get up to speed over the course of a run since they don't have to join in at a high level. R.E.P.O's simplicity makes it very, very approachable. The one main con, as with most approachable multiplayer games, is it pretty much requires you to have friends to really play it. You can play it on your own, but you are not gonna get the most out of the experience. The personality of this game really comes out when you have people to goof off with. And there's a lot of personality in here, even in the menus. I love this game. Like, I love this game. Second, this game is extremely expressive for how simple it is. I want to talk about its expression by first talking about its physics, because this game is to video games what a physical comedy is to movies. Players get knocked over from physics interactions, and you can pick them up. You can do the same with enemies. You can tumble launch in the air and wreak havoc. You can knock players over with items. Items like the baseball bat or the shockwave grenade can send people flying. This is a huge improvement over that other game, as it provides a means to have fun without having to engage with the actual game. If you're bored or you just want to cause chaos, you can, by default. I've had a lot of fun just shitting around with my friends in the shop, messing with items in the sandbox and coming up with new ways to knock players over or just kill them. We play baseball with our bodies. We create death machines that follow us around. You don't have to play this game to have fun with it. Another way that R.E.P.O is an improvement over that other game is that items can break, and they break quite easily. It's hilarious. You don't hold things in a static place like other games where you would just like hold them like right here. They move with your camera. They bounce up and down as you run, and if you sprint, you can actually hit the item that you're holding and cause damage to it. If you swing the item around too fast and you hit a wall, it might just shatter. It's a bit janky, but it really proves the fragility of the items that you're repossessing when every single one of them can break. On top of that, there are so many unique items in this game to pick up. There's a music box which forces you to spin while holding it. There's a laser beam from one of the enemies which can kill players. There's a TV which can turn on and spook you. And of course, there's that hourglass that slows time. I think that's a really good item to talk about because not only does it affect your character's movement and appearance, but also your voice. Your voice is an incredibly important aspect of this game. R.E.P.O famously features proxy chat. Proxy chat is a huge part of what made that other game effortlessly funny. You can hear people scream from rooms over, and it actually sounds like they're rooms over. When you're the last one alive, you start talking out loud about all of your actions and your decision making to convey your intent to your dead teammates. There are also things which alter your voice, like the aforementioned hourglass. If the spewer enemy gets you, your voice gets deeper. And this takes proxy chat a step further than Lethal Company did. It gets even more complex because the horror elements of the game can engage with the audio from proxy chat.
Oh no, okay.
Shut up. Enemies can react to your voice and know where you are. This is something that Lethal Company did, alerting enemies to player locations, and it adds inherent comedy to the game. I have seen clips of people getting killed because their smoke alarm beeped because it was out of battery, or because it's you and someone else hiding in a room and you can't stop laughing because you have to be quiet while staring at each other. This is furthered by how expressive the characters are. The characters make it really hard not to laugh. They're super simple. If you took all of the non-expressive fat out of a player character, you would have a semi-bot. They are literally just a body with eyes, mouth, and hands. They collapse when they crouch, they roll around, they explode on death. Their hands follow the items they're holding, their eyes look at players who are talking, and players' mouths move when they talk. That is probably one of the first things you ever saw about this game. It's probably the thing that made this game famous. If you're ripping Fetty Wap through the proxy chat and it peaks your mic, your character's mouth is all the way open. And when you're not ripping Fetty Wap, it just feels like you and your friends are actual characters in this game. Okay, switching gears a bit, I talked a little bit about the shop. I think it is worth talking a lot more about. The shop has a pretty clear function. It's a place to buy items and upgrades, but it also exists as a playground. It lets you endlessly try out items before you buy them. You can test a frying pan on your friends before you use it on enemies. This lets you gauge if you actually want it and also teaches you how to use it. But if you have goofy friends, this is a sandbox to f around in. It's like team killing in Halo. Some of the best moments in a Halo campaign are not the scripted ones. It's the stupid that you and your friends did while you were playing it that had no impact on the actual game. There's just this organic goofiness to R.E.P.O, and the shop captures all of that into a box. It gives you grenades and lets you activate them. They respawn so you can keep using them. When you're on a long run and someone has to walk their dog, the rest of y'all can just f around in the shop the entire time.
And it does the same
You don't have to play the actual game to have fun with it. This is genius design because if you have a dull moment in the shop, you have a million ways to quell that boredom. This also organically speeds up the process of figuring out all of the items in the game, which ones you like to use, which ones, you know, your friends like to use, and how they can interact together. Last note, the Lego Power Miner crystals sound like bliss when you hit them against something, and I highly recommend doing that.
Look at this.
Another design decision that just captures the magic of this game and forces you to experience it is the king of the losers. When all players die during a level, the run ends and a competition begins. All of the players are thrown into a free-for-all arena in which you must kill all the other players by destroying them or knocking them off the ever-shrinking platform. When one player is left, they can grab the crown in the center of the arena, making them the king of the losers, and they get to wear that crown in the next game. This is something that's done in a lot of Jackbox games, letting the winner be seen for the next game, and it subtly makes R.E.P.O feel more like a party game. The winner can also forfeit the crown, in which there is no king, there is only losers, and the game will tell you that. This is an instance of the game giving you an open sandbox to use on your friends. And this will open you up to trying new items in the shop on each other, or just messing around during the level. It also, again, speeds up the process of learning all the items in the game because it gives you this massive selection of random items. It seems really random to put a battle royale at the end of this game the first time you play it, but after a while I think it just makes sense. I think that the biggest reason that R.E.P.O is successful is that the magic of this game is highlighted by its design. The goofy physics sandbox and the expressive characters are the focus of the game, and those elements are framed by the game's simplicity. And because of that, that magic is captured in any clip or any TikTok or any Twitch stream.
Let the record show, you would go analyze frame by frame, I pulled out the piece.
You just have to watch a couple clips to see exactly why you'd want to play this game. It's communicated extremely quickly and effectively. This is what made Among Us and Lethal Company extremely popular. That and being relatively cheap. I've seen no marketing material, but I've seen a million reels. And it seems to be working. The player counts peak every weekend, getting like a concurrent 150 to 200K. If you can make your game both an engaging social experience for its players, and also let those players capture that magic really easily to share with their friends, you don't have to market the game. It'll just do that on its own, I guess. You don't have to play this game to have fun with it. You can just watch your friends play it and have a really good time. And this is something that is beneficial to the core game experience too, because when you're dead and you can't actually play, like, yeah, you can chat with the people who are dead, but you're watching someone else play it effectively. I feel like a lot of people check out of games when they're dead. Like in Counter-Strike, I'll just scroll Twitter, and I don't feel compelled to do that with R.E.P.O. So they've definitely done it right. Okay, yes. This game is basically Lethal Company, just improved in a bunch of ways. Though, R.E.P.O doesn't feel like Lethal Company at all. It has a complete identity of its own. The two only get compared so much because the gameplay loops are the same, and you can argue that Sea of Thieves has the same gameplay loop, so it whatever. I still want to play both. The R.E.P.O developers have dispelled rumors that they took inspiration from Lethal Company, and comparisons will ultimately just plague both games.
Many may think the obvious inspiration comes from a certain game, but that's not how it actually was. And we will provide more details on this in a future video where we will deep dive into how R.E.P.O came to be.
Like, these are games. This isn't team sports. You don't have to pick one and only play it. You can very easily buy both games and have fun with both games. I don't know if this game is going to have the same cultural impact as Among Us did in 2020. It's still very much in right now, and it's only been around for a couple of months. So I can kind of see it going either way. Some developer takeaways, because I am a game developer, and this is a channel about game development. If you're new here, hi, I'm Frank. I make games. First, keep the core loop simple. One sentence. Go steal stuff and exchange it for money. You also can make simple characters. The characters in this game are the lowest amount of detail needed to express exactly what is needed to express. They're basically placeholder assets. They still kind of look like the capsules you use in an early prototype of an FPS game. Third, proxy chat is a really good way of getting players to entertain each other, or at least let them have a stage to be funny. For physics jank. Physics jank can always be fun, and if you do it right, it can be part of the identity of your game. 5, if you design a game in a way that highlights its magic and that can be easily communicated to anyone watching it, you will ultimately get more players. And lastly, this game started as a house cleaning horror game and is now what it is. So don't be afraid of changing the path that you're currently taking. Yes, there's still like the same identity, it's the same developers, but format of the game and the reason why it's so great is entirely new. Don't be afraid of switching it up if you think that it's not fun or you think you can take it in a different direction. Ultimately, this is art. You're not like checking a bunch of boxes. You're making something that you want to be proud of. Yeah, if you want to support me in what I do, I have a Patreon where I post early and uncensored cuts of videos as well as source code for my projects. Let me know what your favorite aspects of this game are, if I missed anything, and what you would take from it if you were making your own game. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Peace.